Head out on the highway, looking for adventure. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe OMI DACAT DEVVE update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Erica the cat. We love the new awesome calico kitty. So there's a bit to go over today. We obviously had the OMI is my homie video live stream yesterday, so we could not do our normal stream. And then I'm trying to take a look at the last time I had a stream and not just a video, and that might have been a minute. We had, all right, what if NASDAQ partnered with DEVVE video yesterday or 2 days ago now? And before this, we had, is OMI ready to moon? Okay, let's take a look at some of the stuff we have going on over the last few days, which is going to be yesterday. Oh, God. And today is Wednesday. So it's also happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I will probably, I might do a small stream tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it. Why I'm going live at 7 today is because I have stuff to do. Shoot. Okay. We're going to take a look at, what do we title this? VeVe Grails Rising. All right. On the thumbnail, it was about the choices. The choices meaning, I'll show you the actual full picture. It was the underbrush. It was the secret rare. That is exactly what the thumbnail was. And that had jumped up to $24,000. I don't think there's that many of them. It looked like there was at least 119, which doesn't really make sense. But how many of these actually sold for that much? Probably none. But how many of these probably sold for a couple thousand? Probably a bit. I forget why this was so. I think this was a craft originally. If somebody actually has it, comment down below, because again, this was I remember it being pretty coveted. We like his stuff, or maybe it's because his choices Ron English or Frank Kazakh. Let's type in Frank, because I think. All right, let's do Frank Kazakh choices. Painting. I'm thinking it was Ron English. Okay, he doesn't have a choices, so maybe that is Ron English. Who's the bunnies on here? No. Okay, who the heck had this? Let me put it in. Go into the VeVe app here. Child abduction, Amber Alert. Okay, we are looking for a Hyundai Sonata suspect. Oh wow, he's a short dude. Okay, anyway, let's go to the comments here real quick. We have Turtle Golf saying first. Turtle Golf, I've been trying to get answers for you on the question that you messaged me, but I have had a very hard time trying to get those. Oh, it was Jermaine Rogers. Jermaine Rogers had the choices. Okay, that's where it is. That's where it is. I knew it was one of those decon artists. Bill Gardner saying second. Omar Loves Omi saying good evening. Crypto God 79 reporting here live. Give me one sec. Oh, so we got Pokemon 30-year celebrations here. We have Kanoi Head. Noi. He's only got 2,000 followers, but he says, y'all, I can't stop. Full art Neo Revelation. So this Neo Rev, this is an original. Well, the artwork is from the Neo Revelation set. And the reason why the Neo Rev was super interesting because you had a couple of secret rares. I think the first time you had a secret rare for Pokemon, I don't know if it was in the Rocket set, or if yeah, I think it was in the Rocket set. I think the Dark Raichu was a secret one. Neo Rev had a couple. And you notice in the artwork, hey, isn't Gyarados blue? Well, for the most part, Gyarados is blue, but this is coming straight from the games, from the shiny red Gyarados that's over up at Lake of Rage. What happens is that Team Rocket takes over the radio tower in Johto, and then they go in and they play these radio waves, and it forces the Magikarp to evolve early. It's called Lake of Rage because you can have Twister, you can have the move Rage. Gyarados has a lot of it. And anyway, there's a shiny Gyarados level 30 in there. That's kind of where this is from. You see the trainer in there that's trying to get there. It's got the move Outrage, which I don't think he had, and Devastate, which I don't. Either way, the artwork is from the original Neo Rev, and it's the Celebrations 30-year. You have Kanoi Head also. Oh, this is an OG artwork. This is vintage Ken Sugimori artwork that they took. Or is it Arita? Oh, maybe it's Mitsuhiro Arita. I could have sworn it was Sugimori. Maybe Arita did this one, but give me. I'm almost positive that Blastoise first edition. Let's put like Shadowless. It doesn't matter because we just need the. Yeah, see, like this is the OG, and the artwork is Ken Sugimori for that OG, and you see them going in and taking that same artwork over here, but I guess it's just Arita that had gone on and just kind of copied it. Again, it's the same exact Blastoise. It's just Arita kind of went and copied it. So really interesting that they did that. And they did the same thing for Venusaur. This is from the OG base set packs. So I really like what they're doing there. And yeah, a bunch of people are going hard on it. Wouldn't it be great if we were able to go in and get Pokemon over on VeVe? We have there. So there's something I want to read here. It's going to be from. This is going to be from Progress on VeVe. A guy named Red X Carbon. Red X Carbon goes in and says, "This is a tough time for many of us who've been affected by the FVs, aka Future Verses, colossal mismanagement of candy. How do you fail this big when you have the biggest IP in the comic book world, Batman, along with the biggest and who may end up going down as the greatest player in MLB history, Shohei Ohtani? Both of these assets alone could easily net you multi-millions of dollars in revenue just by themselves on a yearly basis. When fans want to give you money for more of what they want, how do you mess it up? Yes, they had other projects, but nothing like these icons that pretty much sell themselves. The revenues generated could have funded the rest of their pet projects. You have a win-win situation in place and you lose? The right thing to do is for those who up top who profited from this collapse to put their money back into the community. They promised so much to, but failed to deliver. Hashtag BatCows." So he's talking about candy here, obviously, and I feel like Red X Carbon, I have no idea who he is. This person could possibly have multiple businesses. This person could be very successful. This person could be. But the way this reads is that they haven't run a business before. And the way this reads is that they are rightfully so, they're upset because it's technically in question on what's going to happen to the assets on Candy. Now, I think just because of the fact that they are great IPs and they are great. These are going to be worth millions of dollars, especially if they can enforce royalties on somewhere. Where could they do that? I don't know. Maybe the collect chain. Dr. Prava did mention this in his AMA that he took special care to mention that, like, yes, we could go in and we could take a bunch of assets, so let's say like on Candy, and we could host them on our collect chains. Like, why would he say that? Why would he say that? Why would he say that? In my opinion, I think it's because they've probably already had conversations with either Candy or the IP behind them to get them to back the truck up. I've been saying, like, people have been laughing. I've been saying for years that VeVe could have DC Comics on them. They're like, no, we're on Palm NFT. Now DC's taking control. It's DC now, not just Palm. Okay, well, they determined that this was completely counterproductive and they gave it up, and then it became Candy. And then they got acquired by Futureverse. And then Futureverse failed. And it just goes to show that this space is hard. And you have to look at who you're. There's an episode of House where Cuddy is trying to find she's going to be a mom and she wants to find a sperm donor, and she's looking, through on paper. She's like, okay, we want someone that, both all of his great grandparents are still living, and the want someone that has, good, in a good career, good whatever, and she finds someone that, yeah, there's like no markers for, like, no genetic markers for cancer, no genetic markers for anything, because she doesn't want poor genes going into her kid. So again, it makes sense, but she's only looking at the paper. And then House brings in somebody for a job interview, and she's like, "Oh, why don't you meet the director or department head? This is Dr. Lisa Cuddy." And this guy is the biggest freaking dweeb on the face of, like no woman's ever going to give this dude attention, like, ever, right? And then Lisa's like, "Hi," and she gets to see how, like, dweeby he is. "Oh yeah, we were just talking. He's really big into family. All 8 great grandparents are still living." And then Cuddy's like, "Oh," and House is like, "You have to meet who's on paper. You have to know who you're getting into bed with." Like, this is what's going to go into your kit. And she's like, okay, I understand that. And I think a lot of people go into digital collecting and they take a look at, they fall in love with the first project that they find, and they see like, oh, well, you know what, I really like this. And a lot of people say like, Randy, I love your conviction. And I think that is misplaced encomiums, because that is, it's you shouldn't go in and put someone up on a pedestal just because they have conviction of something. Okay, why do they have conviction? What are the reasons? And the reasons is because, again, David's a shark. David's a beast. And again, you when you're betting on horses, you can't just look at the horse. Who's the jockey behind it? Is the jockey, how short are they? How much do they weigh? You have a much better chance of winning if your jockey is experienced and 115 pounds, as opposed to, not experienced and 150 pounds. That's an extra 35 pounds that the horse has to carry, with an inexperienced jockey. So again, you have to look at everything. And I think that some of these people, they didn't do that. Most of these people that have invested in other platforms like Hero, like Recur, where are they? Again, Recur had great licenses, but it's what you do. It's like Mewtwo said, the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. You could have the best licenses in the world. Recur had some of them. Hello Kitty's #2 license in the world, but I could tell by the way they treated Hey Arnold and Rugrats NFTs that they didn't care about the IP. It's. I remember this one chick one day. She wanted to get into like bowling, and I was a big bowler back in the day, and um, she like goes in, and like her mom buys her all this like crazy like equipment, buys like one of the best new balls, right, from like Ebonite, new shoes, whatever. And it's like, unless you understand like the fundamentals of the game, like the best equipment's not going to help. It's like girls that say like, yeah, the guy had a big dong, but yeah, didn't know how to use it. um it it's the same thing. You can get the best IP in the world. If you don't respect the IP and you don't know collectors, yeah, any Yahoo can go in and raise $50 million like they did with Recur. And if you don't know how to invest that money properly, if you don't know, it's not going to work out. That being said, again, the IP is really great, and I think what they're doing here, Red X Carbon is saying, is that like putting out his frustrations of the right thing to do for those who profited at the top, put their money back in the community. He's right about that. They should. That's the right thing to do. I was going to have it again. You have MLB, you have DC, and all this. I don't know what they do. I'm sure the assets will be fine. I don't have to worry about that on VeVe. Never have. Anyway, speaking of that, there was another guy called Dr. Bat Cow, not Cow, but Dr. Bat Cow. And he had said, Candy Digital, my bank is saying you never sent my withdraw. I've used the same account for years for withdrawals. What's going on? He requotes that saying, I blame DC official and Jim Lee at this point. He requotes that and says, I'm still waiting on a $7,000 withdrawal from Candy, backed by DC official and Jim Lee. Where's my money, Jim? I don't know how much Jim Lee actually has to do with this, but guys, Candy has fired like everyone. I don't. Again, I'm sure they'll get swept up. I'm sure they'll get bought up. I'm sure, or the IP. Candy does have a following, but a lot of the followers there were fans of VeVe. So you know, I'm sure. Like, again, they've been bought so many times. Um, and yeah, this is why some of the things on Candy are, and there's a buddy of mine that can't sign into Candy. Now, I think it's because he used like a Hotmail and not like a Google, because you can sign in with Google. And I think another friend of mine is able to go in and say, okay, I can sign in with Google, but my other friend can't even sign in. Had a bunch of withdrawals on there, a bunch of money on there, can't withdraw it. Yeah, but again, when you see a problem, a lot of people dread that, but I think that there's a lot of opportunity here, and the opportunity could be by someone like VeVe to go in and get the licensors. Like, baseball cards would be great. Get that on VeVe. Jesus, tap dancing Christ, I would. Oh God, I shit a brick. But then DC, same thing. Getting DC on VeVe Comics, please God. Um, And then I feel like DC would be more apt to do a crossover with DACAT than Marvel, because DC has a bunch of, I mean Marvel, I mean they both do, but we'll see. Anyway, let's move on here. The Cray Mountain says, no, I'm second because I own the IP of the number 2. Sorry, Bill. Oh, he said you got no nipples. Bill Gardner says, dang. Dang is right. Tomorrow. Booth says, if someone doesn't know what a red Gyarados means, then I can't talk to you. So I was talking to a former Bay a few days ago, and she was saying, we just wound up talking, just catching up, and I was like, oh, you with anyone? And she's like, yeah, kind of, but the dude's kind of doesn't take care of himself. I was like, oh, I thought you liked the George Costanza body. And she's like, dad bods are great. It's like, but he's like way beyond that. I was like, oh, that you missed the younger in shape guys. And she's like, yeah, but like, we didn't have much to talk about. I was like, we dated for like 18 months. We had a bunch of stuff to talk about. It's like, yeah, but I didn't really like Pokemon. She was older, obviously, right? I did a lot of older chicks. And yeah, I feel like, honestly, Booth, yeah, Pokemon's the biggest IP in the world. And all of our generation, although I think you're a bit younger than me, all of our generation, like, even though you thought I was like 50, it's okay. Sparky thought I was 50 also. Or at least 47. I think Mr. MC1 thought that as well. But yeah, a lot of the people, like, even Gyarados, I don't know how many people would know what normal Gyarados is. Like, ask someone on the street in like Seattle. Like, again, if they're 35 and younger, they probably do. They're 40 and older, they probably don't know who Gyarados is. It's just even like the younger guys, like, you have to play Pokemon, like, because he's really good. I don't know if he has a I think he has a Mega Evolution. But even if you know Gyarados, do you know the legend of the red Gyarados? That has to be like a specific age, like 28 to 35. Because if you're even like 30, well, no, because you could get it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and that was years later. But again, I'm just talking here. Let's move on. Booth saying, you look crazy, Randy. Well, I'm a little cozy. Yes. I got my little blankie over here and my little hat to cover my large yet delicate ears from the cold. Turtle Gal says, what do you think time frame is KYC is to drop KYC for New Year's? I don't know. Has anyone tried to sign up recently? We could check. Hakomi just posted, there are only 4 days remaining in the November OMI leaderboard rewards, and the competition is going to come down to the final day to crown our 3rd ever monthly champion. Participate today and place in the top 100 to earn your share of 60 million OMI. It's wild that they have 100 million OMI that they're doing every month. This is insane. People are getting such great things. Such great things. Jason Payne is the Shining Gyarados 3rd. It does look amazing, right? I think it looks awesome. Doctor Strange, my man. How you doing, brother? Giving me the hundreds, giving me that. December. Okay, we're very good. We're good. Let's take a look at some of the things here. Let's start with DeVe and see where they're at. DeVe is up 1.2% on the day to 35 cents. It has been up to 36 cents, has been down to 34. So it's pretty. They had an announcement today. It wasn't really that big. It was more post than anything. Let's go Dev Ecosystem. They follow me. Love them for that. ETF inflows prove it. Institutions are in. The signal is clear. Institutions aren't chasing speed. They're chasing predictable settlement. DeVe is built around that requirement. Completion first, compliance aligned, testnet ready to scale how tokenized assets reconcile. Because tokenization grows when the settlement layer meets institutional expectations. Settlement builds trust. You have Mocha Boy saying, DeVe will be the connecting link, the bridge, the communicating vessel between institutional and traditional finance and decentralized finance. I'm proud to be early. Then you have the Dev Exchange that had gone on and posted this morning as well. I think they did this in cahoots together, saying ecosystem energy. Dev Exchange isn't an isolated platform. It's the centerpiece of the Dev ecosystem. It leverages the DeVe token as the native liquidity and fee token, directly tying exchange activity into the broader network economy. That means as the exchange grows, the whole ecosystem and its participants prosper. Traders get instant, secure swaps. Developers get a vibrant marketplace for their assets. Token holders see real utility. One network, unified value. That's the dev difference. Join the waitlist and link down below to go in and sign up for the Dev Exchange. You're going to want to, because you don't have to give up custody of your crypto in order to go in and trade on it. Where on Coinbase or Kraken or anywhere else, you do have to go in and give up custody of your crypto. But for Dev Exchange, you don't. It's beautiful. Kaki said Candy should just go and collect it. I agree, Kaki Gaijin. I agree 100,000% that we should. I think it would behoove all parties involved, and especially the people that are paying money for their stuff. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. I know you're saying Ben, and you're probably a Mr. Robinson, but I love that freaking song so much. Randy, any chance OMI gets to 001 by end of year? Yeah, I think it can. When I say I don't think it should, is because, well, it should, just because all of the amazing things that they had come out this last couple of years just are not priced in. Update after update after update of epicness, and what happens? The price just goes down. So again, none of this is priced in. But you've got is it Digital Monk? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to go to Digital MONK. Oh god, hiccups. He made a post today. He's made a bunch of posts today. 9 hours ago, saying this chart, the one you're seeing right here, it shows two things: the price of OMI and the progress of VeVe. On one side, you have the price of OMI, slowly trending downward over the years, ignored, overlooked, and even laughed at. But then you have the actual progress of VeVe. Partnerships growing, tech evolving, interoperability coming, new drops, new brands, new collectors, and now major development acceleration in the last year alone. Yet the market still prices OMI like none of that ever happened. This is the kind of disconnect that only exists a few times in a lifetime. I've seen it before with Pokemon and Tesla. A platform scaling up while the token sits still. New features, new utility, new verticals, new exposure, licensing partners no other platform has ever touched, proving consumer demand and global IP recognition, digital ownership adoption rising year after year. EV is moving forward, where OMI's barely woken up. People look at the charts and assume weakness, but sometimes the chart isn't showing weakness, it's showing an opportunity that the crowd just hasn't yet understood. When fundamentals and valuation finally reconnect, the market doesn't move slowly. It snaps, it reprices, and it revalues instantly. Remember in the movie Planet of the Apes, the James Franco one, where he's going in and writing his notes on the virus, the dementia virus. Like, eventually, my father's disease outran the vaccine, and my father's dementia came back with a vengeance. Like, that's exactly what happens when you have valuations that don't make sense. It's you pull that rubber band back for so long, eventually it snaps, and the price comes back with a vengeance. That blue line represents momentum that keeps building whether people believe in it or not. The question isn't why is OMI so low. The question is, how can it stay low while VeVe keeps climbing, and for how long? History says eventually these two lines will meet, and when they do, the move is violent, fast, and life-changing for the people positioned early, not late. We're early, at times painfully early, and most won't realize it until the charts look obvious in hindsight. Not financial advice. So I think this violent snap happens at some point next year. Logic would say sometime in summer, but crypto's not really logical. And yeah, the odds of it just doing a 4x from here, like, it's already done a 2.5x from the bottom, a little bit higher than that, actually. What's another 4x? It'll probably do that. By the end of the year, I mean, what do you have? 5 weeks left? What day is it here? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks left, and then it's December 31st. So it's possible. Going hard on this one. Oh, red, shining Gyarados. Girl. Also, oh my god, this. Girls, right? Can't live with them. Can't live without them. Okay, we're gonna We're gonna ask everyone to smash that like button here. It's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smash that super thanks button. Oh, thank you for the 13th like there. Okay, on this way. So yeah, what are the odds? 10%, 15%. Obviously, it'll get there eventually. Just do by end of year. I don't know. You know, the powers that be that run this universe. It'll probably happen. We'll probably have 4x by the end of the year. Why? Not because of any of the things that make sense that I just talked about, but because DEVVE's probably going to go up by that time too. And wouldn't it just be funny if DEVVE does a 10x and OMI does like a 4x? It's like, okay, well now, and then I'll just stack a bunch of Definity and a bunch of DACAT. But I mean, ideally, one crypto would go way up and the rest would stay way down. And then, you know, put that 10, 20x into something else. But that's not, I feel like that's not what's happening. What's probably going to happen is that they're both probably going to go up at the same time. I'm going to miss some of that arbitrage. Now, again, if OMI stays down here for another 6 to 8 weeks, and heck, even goes lower, and DEVVE does that like 10 to 20x, guys, I'm going to get at least $500 million OMI. But I would like $1 billion. Boo says, Ben Robinson, if it hits 001, by the end of the year, I'll run down the street naked screaming Ben Robinson was right. Okay, we're going to take a picture of that and we're going to call Booth out on it if that happens, and I hope it does. I hope it happens. The news said Nancy. Yes, very good. Okay, we're gonna get rid of you. Okay, so yeah, that, and like I said, that was DEVVE. $619,000 in liquidity over on the DEX. Let's take a look at what the DEVVE is and how much are over here on CoinMarketCap. $317,000 in volume. That's very low. $34 million market cap. I think that all changes in the next, I think maybe 4 weeks. Again, we want 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, in 3 weeks, the week of the 15th, my birthday. Yeah, the week of the 15th. What am I gonna do? I don't know yet. I'll keep you posted, but you can. It doesn't matter. It's gonna matter who I'm with, but at some point in December, most likely, and I'm gonna be. Oh, guys, I have a lot of trips planned for December, and I'm going to regardless of who I'm with, I'm gonna probably go live when that DEVVE announcement happens, and we're gonna watch the charts, and it's gonna be great. And I hope I'm with someone that understands. Who's saying, "Yeah, I thought you were 50, bro, how?" I understand. I don't look my age. I get it. I could see 40, but 50. Am I Greta Thunberg in any interview? Because how dare you? VeVe says, "How old are you, Ryan?" I guess I'm 34. But in about 3 weeks ish, I'll be 35. I'll be halfway. I'll be middle aged. I will be halfway to 70. Oh, that is not something that I like. But I believe if I can stay alive long enough, scientists will be able to cure anything, including death, ensuring my immortality. And then we will, in the future, me and my fellow men of science will giggle like little girls about the people that were the non-believers. But yeah, I'll take 36, 38. That's fine. Most people think I'm way older. But give me a couple weeks, and I think for my birthday, I'll look okay. Homer loves Omi saying, "I remember the lake to get to the red Gyarados." Ah, me too. Can't wait. Arturo says, "What state are you in? Or is that confidential?" Well, I do live in Ohio. I am in a different part of the world right now, but I'll be back in Ohio. I don't know when, but soon, maybe soon. We'll see. Ivy says, "You think Omi can go down to 001?" It 00024 has seemed to be the local bottom, but yeah, you could have one more big flush out of crypto. But listen, Bitcoin went to 79.9, and there was no You know, and at that point, OMI was on the rise. Like Bitcoin was going down, OMI was going up. So yeah, I don't. I could it go back down to 0002 again? Sure. Can it go back down to where it was? If Bitcoin goes like super low again, because we reached like 90K today. I don't know what we're at right now. Okay, very good. There's a new AR quest on the VeVe. Where the heck is Bitcoin? Okay, here it is. Yeah, Bitcoin's $90,000 right now. And oh my God, reject these cookies. And 6 days ago, Bitcoin was 79.9. So it's been pretty good. But yeah, yeah, it's been rough. So it's been a rough year. So yeah, if they have one more major thing, then OMI could go back down 0001s. And if it does, I'll get more. Get a bunch more. Ideally, that would happen while DEVVE does like a 20. Oh my God, I get some freaking OMI. I don't think it will. Like I said, I think we probably bottomed, but you know, it doesn't mean we can't have a little retracement from here. Artur says, "Oh, meant to ask her in the chain space. Do you think there are massive IP agreements waiting on the collect chain capabilities? Probably. Before signing on with VeVe, I collect them all. I don't think that's the reason. I think there are a bunch of licenses that are just afraid of Web3. They just don't understand it. They don't know it. They like to stay in their lane. I think at some point though, VeVe will get them all. That's the only logical choice for Nintendo and Pokemon to make. But again, people aren't always logical. I have great respect for the companies, the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, Game Freak, and all that. But you know, sometimes people surprise you and in not good ways. But I think they'll make the right logical choice and go with VeVe, in my opinion. But I don't think this is the one thing that's falling away. It's probably just money. Like Pokemon and Nintendo tend to like to own the companies that they do business with. So, yeah. Which, by the way, if they want to use my DACAT stuff as Pokemon, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Pokemon, if you're listening, if you're watching, use my IP. Obviously, we'll make an agreement. Omar loves home. He says, DC does make sense to me on V. Agreed. That's the only place that makes sense. When Dragon Ball Z, you are asking the right questions here, Mr. Penguin I1K. I don't know. That would be awesome if we have it, which I think it would make sense. I think they not for a while. I think they would probably announce something like Shogun or Trigun or some of the lesser known things. Maybe you have something like Death Note or Dead Man Wonderland or Fairy Tale or Fruits Basket. Like get some of those on first. Get people introduced to the IP to the manga and anime, and then you go Attack on Titan. Then you go My Hero Academia. Then you go Seven Deadly Sins, and then you go the DBZ. Like it doesn't make sense to start with your best because then there's nowhere to go but down. And I'm not saying DBZ would be the best. Pokemon would be the best, obviously, but DBZ is pretty freaking close to the best. Oh my God! But the issue with DBZ, like there's characters there. Like obviously you have the main Z fighters that everyone knows, but and then that grows. 17 and 18 are there now too as like kind of main characters that are fun. But the core and who they might start with Dragon Ball. You might get like Oolong, and it's like bro, I'll take Oolong because he's funny. He's a pig. He's cool. But then you might have Launch. Was it Blanche or Launch? I forget the discount version of Bulma. Then you have old school Bulma. Then you have like Yamcha with his Wolf Fang fist attack, and it's like, okay, give us Teen Gohan, give us freaking Cell, give us perfect Cell. Like again, there's a good amount of characters, but everyone has their favorite Pokemon. I don't know if Yamcha or Chaozu is anyone's favorite character. Like you could ask a million people who their favorite character is. I don't think anyone would say Chaozu or like the turtle, right? Um, Master Roshi's kind of perverted, so maybe people would like him, but like you have Gohan, you have Piccolo, you have Vegeta, you have the Saiyans. Tien's a beast. Oh my God! And then you have the villains, obviously, but something like Pokemon, there's so much IP. You could have a drop every day for 4 years. You could have a drop. I repeat, if they got Pokemon, they could have a drop every single day for 4 years. And that's really just with Pokemon, not including the trainers, not including the badges, not including the items, the buildings, the centers, oh my god. I will lose my mind. I already told David once, like in like a drunken text years ago, I was like, if we ever get Pokemon, I need to help. Like I need to help create like I don't want money, I don't want recognition. I just want to like I want to be able to help craft the most amazing drops ever. And I think he knows because of my expertise in that area. He'd probably say, again, it's free, right? Like he'll probably take it. And David shares big announcement. Dude, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Scott Snyder says Absolute Batman 15 has outsold Absolute Batman #1. What? That is bananas. That is absolutely bananas. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Okay. I have no idea if David's going to share the big announcement this year. I mean, it's running out of time for the, and we don't need it. And I'm not saying we don't need it this year. It's just let it come when a blow off top happens. Let it come when that narrative hits. We don't need it right now. Right now we have good momentum. You obviously want to keep building on that momentum, and sure, build on it for however long. But it's just not. I would rather wait until the narrative is here. And again, that could take another half a year. Take longer. But I think we have other stuff that we can announce for. Who's saying I plan on starting profit taking my OMI bag at 005. You can. That's oh that okay. I thought 000. Yeah, 005. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a nice amount from here. Was that like a 18x, give or take? Like I said, it's a very good place to take profit. That being said, if OMI were to, because I know you have a little Definity. I don't know if you have any Devi, or I don't know if you still have it. I know you won some in giveaways, and I don't know if you kept that or sold out. Again, whatever. But OMI goes up to that, and Definities at these prices, I'm buying like 10% of that supply. I'm buying like I'm gonna buy more of the company. I'm gonna buy like that is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna go crazy. That happens in a good way. And I'll take profits there too. I'll take profits earlier because again, if we go to let's say at 002 now, that's like 600 something K for me. I'll take 100K out of that. Why? I'll take 100K out of it because then I could put it into other things. Like Definity and DACAT. VeVe. VeVe says, what is the opportunity OMI, better opportunity OMI or VeVe collectibles? That's a short term. It's anyone's guess. We have no idea. Long term, I'm going to say OMI. Well, it depends on the collectibles. Long term, I would say OMI over pretty much everything. But short term, again, you were able to get partner statue like a month ago for like $650. I think you can get it on VeVe for 1900 now, but on Stacker it's like 2K. Actually, it's 1826. All right, so some are going down. 18. All right, so there's one for 6.7 million OMI, and then it goes to, which is $1,800. Then it goes to 8.3 million OMI, which is 2,200. And then on VeVe again, it's 1880. So people are really looking to get more OMI, and this guy is selling his partner statue for 66.7 million OMI, which is $1,800. Now again, that's really great because it's possible this guy might have got it like for a third of the price at 650, and is just making bank right now. I'm listening, just reaching out. See if you're still open to moving. 1.8. Let me know. Here, one sec. Okay. One sec, guys. I gotta message my man's, my other man's. deal. Yeah. This guy looking to um liquidate. Do we want to do anything uh with him? Um, Let me know, and I'll set it up. Okay. I think my guy's gonna be asleep right now. But I'll say yes. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. Just live right now and holiday tomorrow, but I should be able to um, grab some, if not all, soon. What's your time frame? What's your time frame? Okay, there we go. Da, 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 da. Booth saying, you can take a picture of my comment. Well, not the first time. Right down the street, dude. I think it was like 2018, the Eagles won Super Bowl. My friend did it. He ran down the street, dude. I was like, you know what? You know what? He was having fun. No, we all have a little over a month left for end of year. Almost a 10x in the span of a month. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Do we know? Oh shit. Do we know when Devi will share? We they say Q4, and I mean, it could be tomorrow, right? I mean, they're probably not going to do it on Thanksgiving. That'd be fun if they did, but it's probably going to. Oh, we're at 41 minutes already. We got to go over the other tokens. There's a lot of comments here. Um, I'm going to say mid to late December. So I think we probably have about 3 weeks left at least, if not up to 5 weeks. Or it could be delayed to January. We don't know. Or it could be tomorrow. But my estimation would be mid to late December. Well, VeVe says, I see 32 Randy, not 50, but you do have that age, lots of wisdom, like a 50-year-old. I think the military has accelerated my aging quite a bit. But yeah, I feel like I do have a little bit of wisdom. I also I hang out. I date older women. I am friends with older guys. I'm friends with younger people too. Um, but yeah, I just in that a lot of for most of my most of my 20s, like it was just around businesses. As around I'm talking to these older business owners, which not that they were old, but when I'm 26 to 29, yeah, they're all going to be in like their 40s, 50s, sometimes 30s and 20s, but they're all just going to be older. And again, like who's the ones giving the money? It's me and a bunch of other older guys, and their older wives, and the women I'm dating are older. And again, I've had younger friends, and I have friends and I'm friends with their kids and all that. But yeah, I just again, I've always had older friends. I think it's just part of when I got my first started working at 13, and then again, I've just always spent my time, my most of my young adult and adult life just around older people. So I feel like it probably helps a little bit. Who's saying, don't wait for science to make you immortal. Just wait for reincarnation. Life is great, but life is hard. And like, and I love building stuff, right? And I don't get me wrong, I would love to be 15 again and have my back not hurt and my hips and knees not hurt. My pre-military body was like that was God, it was such in good shape. Um, but yeah, like I got I won a lottery in which I was adopted out of Peru. But I had literally the worst spawn, one of the worst spawn spots in the history of spawn spots. Third world country. If I would have stayed there, I would have been like nothing, right? Most likely. Um, but came to the U.S. Honestly, and again, I've been to dozens of other countries. Honestly, think this is the greatest country in the world, depending on the part. Um, but if I get reincarnated, like who knows if I get reincarnated into the land of opportunity again? I don't. I could be in Sri Lanka or Australia or Peru again, or this is and then you have so much more history to learn because for me, time started in 1990, and I start learning about stuff years later. But reincarnate. Let's say I live another 20 years, right? Live to almost 55, and then at that time we're in 2045, and then get reincarnated. That like what is we had a really good run. I think millennials got really lucky because we were able to get that sense of life without internet. And yeah, we go outside and parents don't watch us because that's what it was back in the day. You go outside and they don't know where the fudge we were. And then when the internet comes along, we had the guys, for anyone, and Booth, I know you're a little younger, but back in like sixth grade, like 2002, 2003, like whatever it is, maybe seventh grade, 2003, there was a video going around on the internet of a beheading, and our social studies teachers like, guys, listen, I know some of you have access to internet, and I know it's you probably heard about this video. He's like, listen, I was in the army, and I watched it, and I wish I hadn't. I'm old, I'm a tough guy, and again, I wish I hadn't. So I implore you to not do it. Now, obviously, what did we do? Went to my friend Justin's and we watched it, and so we got to do things on the internet that we had no right doing. Why? Because our parents didn't understand the technology at the time. So we got to like, it was, y'all think it's wild now, and it is, but it was insane. I don't know how we all didn't get kidnapped. We were, oh God, it was bananas. Uh, I don't, and life definitely gets better. Life has gotten better for the majority of people over the last 30 years, but it's just, I like the time I was born in. I like being at the perfect age to get into Pokemon, and that's what helped me just generate a lot of wealth, just flipping Pokemon cards. And because I knew that, and then I had the special type of tism that made me good at pattern recognition and math, and having that, and it just, I would not have been able to do that. Like, it put me in another part of the world, another part. Now, maybe now, obviously things could have gotten better. I was with authority figures in my younger years of people that did not have my best interests at heart, or even if they did not have the capabilities to push me towards things that would have developed my skills in the correct way. So yeah, I could have had a better, but I, despite all of that, I did pretty freaking good. Um, to restart this game of life in like 2045, where it's just scary. I have no idea what's going to come. Um, it's wild. But if that's my only option, maybe one day. We got F1F saying some people already know about the big announcement, Randy. Big announcement. Randy also knows about it. That's why they always post, "You have no idea what's coming." I don't know if you're talking about DEVVE, Definity, or DACAT, or VeVe OMI. So you're gonna have to like like narrow this down a little bit, and then I'll respond. Player Game 06 saying OMI always do that Bitcoin go down, OMI go up. I don't know if it always does that, because sometimes Bitcoin go down and OMI go down too. So are we ready? Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we got some more burns here. 2.7 million OMI burn today. I repeat, 2.7 million OMI burn today. Oh, I feel like I was the announcer in Rocky. No, he's spitting up blood now. Sorry. With 354 transactions, 157,914,996 total stacker burns on the year. God, I love this game so freaking much. All right, new post. Okay, there's Daredevil. Abby, thank you, Abby. Abby something. Abby normal. Abby normal. Don't need the repost. Thank you, Diego. Or no, Ironman616 for reposting. Let me get Abby's OMI here to go in and give some hearts to him, because he always does this. I love people that go in and talk about the daily OMI burn. This dude, this piece of knowledge that he tracks is so important. and he's got 324 followers. That is insane. Dude should have a 0 added to that. 3,240 followers. 5 hours says, Booth, yeah, you can re-roll your stats and go for Dex build instead of a STR. I love gaming talk. I love Zomi says, Dama helped new generation to watch original Z5. That's true. That's true. They did. They did. They got people to study up on their history. Arcturus says, my big entry on Devi token was at $1.10 when I had money. Not a great entry price. Should I DCA now or hold my bag because it will soar past that? I always DCA. I should DCA now, but I have a lot of trips planned, and I might need those funds for the trips. And I know Chavez just delayed another couple months, guys. I've delayed for like this has been a great couple of weeks, and I'm getting real used to this. It's been a good life. It's been a I think I told y'all looking for the Forever Bay, and haven't had much luck finding the Forever Bay, but it's been great fun trying. It's been I'm so happy. And yeah, a lot of trips planned in the next month to continue to find it. And I hope it's like Luffy. Luffy tries to, find the One Piece, become King of the Pirates, and 1,400 episodes later, he's still doing it, and he's having a blast. Same here. But yeah, I would say, man, I DCA. If I had more money and I didn't have any other things that I was doing, I would DCA. But I have been, I've not been DCAing as much as I should because of the fact, we just went up to like 2.9 and then went back down. So we've gone to 2.9 a couple of times today, and then we just got wicked back down. But let's see what it was for. It had to have been over the last 52 minutes, maybe even less. Not really a ton that I'm seeing here. There wasn't any really big buys over the last 52 minutes. It was just, at least not on here. There's a couple of them that were for like $900. Okay, 934. That's by D9 8B6. And I'm not seeing any. There's a bunch of buys, but they're by different wallets. 933 by C9B7C, 923 by AA084, 924 by F9E5D, 943 by 29369, 369. Damn, she fine. Second to me one more. 831 by the D9F26. So yeah, they might be connected wallets because that's a lot of very similar buys by all different wallets. Anyway, 00027662. Yeah, I would DCA on Devi if I had more money. If I had more McMonies. Oh my love is Omi saying Team Rocket is its own IP. Hell yeah, dude. Team Rocket, freaking love them. Still love them. Iron Man 616 reposted the stream. My man, thank you. Far too kind. Omar has given me something to repost. Daily showers are purely performative and have no real health benefit. Experts insist. What? That's bananas. And Comics Explain says so. I don't smell like shit. Yeah, like you gotta shower every day. You don't need to wash your hair every day, but you gotta shower every day. Neo says, "Man, I'm literally getting goosebumps just thinking about Pokemon coming to VeVe. The app would like Kesha in 2009. Blow up, ba, 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 ba. I got to make sure that's the right year that song came out. This place about to blow up. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, 2010. It was 1 year. I was off by 1 year. Backdoor cracked. Don't need a key. We get in for free. No VIP sleeves. Drink that Kool-Aid. Follow my lead. Now you're one of us. You're coming with me. Bro, that is such a good freaking song. Kesha was freaking dominating in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Boot 9704 says that definitely the Definity you gave me, I immediately sold it for Omi. Understand. I looked up on Google. It says collecting figurines is idolatry. So I sold all my VeVe collector. Idolatry? I don't know what that is. Omar loves Omi saying, y'all see the DBZ KFC? I have not, but we have KFC. You can see DBZ x VeVe soon. Oh, we have Big Pin and stuff. So yeah, I mean, Pigpen has DBZ. We should be able. I mean, you know. The Cray Mountain says we need bigger listing photos. I would love if we had something similar as a VeVe marketplace. I'm only 44, and I think that's the last. That's the last thing he said. Anyway, yeah, I think bigger listing photos would be cool. How big of a priority is that for you to do right now? Probably not a big one, but I think a pretty fun one. Anyway, let's take a look at OMI's volume on the day, not just on the DEX. We obviously want to take a look at it on here. And we are at 3.65 million volume. Pretty sweet. $76 million market cap. Ow, my freaking knee. I feel like Peter Griffin after read. Okay. Player game 06 is brah. I saw a black shadow running behind you. Ghost. That's what it is. Ghost. IVV says, when Randy Chavez is going to get married? I got engaged once, and then since then there were two girls that I would have. One was this chick from 2020, and one was chick from last year into this year. Just didn't happen. Maybe another one. You know, who knows? Who knows? I listen. I have a lot of older friends and that have successful marriages. And then I also had a bunch of friends back in the. I don't even know how to consider them friends from back in the day, but there were some people that I'd spent time with back in the day, more like work colleagues, and not like in business. They were just like in sales. That they made marriage sound so miserable, where they're just like they just hated their wives. Like, bro, why don't you leave? Like, oh, it's too expensive to leave. Get married. You get married, Chavez, and you know that you're done. You're done. She got you locked in a vice grip like a virgin poon. I was like, okay, I don't like it's like really it's like, yeah, I'll take you for everything, Chavez. I'll take you to the cleaners. You don't do it, Chavez. Don't get married. And again, the relationships that I saw, 10 years ago in my 20s where yeah, it was that made me never want to. But then, as you get into like the upper echelon of the circles where it's like, oh, you guys have amazing relationships. Your kids are great, and this is like wonderful. And it's like, shit, I want that. And yeah, it just makes you want that, but it's hard. Yeah, I'm very busy a lot. I have a lot of my time that I really can't dedicate to that. And apparently marriages take work, and it's like it's a lot. It sometimes can be stress. I don't know. Again, there were a couple I've been close with. One from like over a decade ago, and then recently 2020. So I was 29, and then one last year into this year, so 33 into 34. Um, maybe another gal comes along soon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Um, looking, and I'm having a great time. Having a great time shopping. Uh, Booth saying the beheading video kind of reminds me of the Two Girls One Cup. Um, dude, that was another cultural moment. I think my favorite one was somebody showing it to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's like, and the guy who's showing it to is like, giving like, because he's got the same reaction. The Two Girls One. The amount of people I've seen like throw up on their monitors has been, oh god, the most hysterical thing ever. Mine was so pure. Your mind was pure. Mine was not. Okay, you're definitely on me. What I say in that video, my middle school mind couldn't even think to do that, or people did that. Dude, people, you remember cake farts? Cake farts was another one where it was. I don't know what that girl ate. I don't know if that was a talent of hers. Found out she could do it. Cake farts was another one. Um, yeah, it's wild what people had done back in the day. And you never know what's going on in someone's house, right? You never know. And now people post a bunch of stuff on TikTok. It's wild. It's wild. Ankiv says, of course, VeVe's big announcement. thought about some people already know what's coming. I'm sure they do. Like I'm sure my collectibles does. I'm sure VeVe Magic does. Like again, they work for the company. They've signed NDAs. They've done all this. Like I have zero idea. Um, I could make some educated guesses on what it might be. Like big announcement. It's IP related. I'm fairly sure. And think of like there's only a couple of big IPs that people would be super excited about. Um, you could extrapolate that to other things that maybe it's not what you think, and well, it is IP related, but it could be XYZ. Um, I, listen, your guess is as good as mine. Like I said, like the big thing, it could have been Street Fighter, it could have been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's not. I don't know. Again, I don't work for the company. I don't have any NDA signed. I Somebody actually asked me recently, like, like Chavez, they hire, they hire old Rhubar, they hire my collectibles, they hire VeVe Magic, why don't you work for them, man? I was like, well, my specialty is, I don't know how well that would fit for the company. I have some great marketing ideas and we could execute those. And um but really a lot of my ideas I would just give to David anyway for free. And also, a lot of the positions that they hire for me, it just wouldn't be worth it. Like, and again, not everything's about money. If David really needed help, like, hey, Chavez, we need this position filled, you'd be very good. I know the money would not be what like you're used to. It's not, the comes, but you're not going for what your worth is. You're going for what the job is worth. And I really need some help. I would 100%. Like, no problem, David. I got you. Because again, we're friends, and if they need help, again, if it's good for VeVe, I'll do it. But there's no, again, aside from that, I don't think I would really be able to work for VeVe in any capacity like that. Um, Again, if it made sense and it was needed, I would. Abby's Omi said, thanks, brother. Oh, no problem. What's up, Abby's Omi? How you doing, fam? Yeah, man. Cray Mountain says, hold some funds for the VeVe Pokemon drop days. We could hold some funds for that. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Omar giving me a post from Tracker VeVe. Partner statue just sold for, oh, wait, so that was on VeVe. Was that not on? Hold on. Let's go here. I am Groot. Whoa, whoa, buddy. Ever since you got a little bit of sap, Todd is 660. Not bad. All right, let's take a look at partners right now. 1800 on VeVe, 1820. So I don't think anything's really gone through yet. So I think that was probably on VeVe then, which is fans, good stuff. Okay, John Davis, Randy, are you streaming for Ted in Michigan? No, I'm not. Although I heard Michigan isn't that bad this time. I'm sure. I assume it's really freaking cold this time of year, but no. Like Gandalf says to Gimli, I would not go through the mines of Moria unless I had no other choice. I would not go to Michigan unless I had no other choice. And thankfully, for someone like me, I have a lot of choices. Anything I need in Michigan, I just fly out. Booth says, fun fact about reincarnation. In ancient times, people believed they would get reincarnated so they would keep wealth in their family. When they came back, they would still be wealthy when reincarnated. That makes sense. In that train of thought, is there any truth that you're going to reincarnate into the same family? Ah, Sleepin says, hey Randy, happy Thanksgiving, Sleepin. I love you, Bay. I hope you're good. Very good. Fiddle Tree is praising or worshiping things that aren't God, and sometimes collecting figurines. People can get carried away and find themselves praising them when you're supposed to only praise God. Okay, that makes sense. Kind of like me and Dashi. Maybe me and the new cat, Erica. Yeah. We don't know. Oh God, my D3. Oh, Kaki Guy just says, I'm eating, bro. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to mention that while you were eating. The conversations on my lives can go anywhere. Think I'm pretty without any makeup on. You think I'm funny, and I'll tell the punchline wrong. You know you get me, so I won't come down. Let's go all the way tonight. Okay, girl, you are going to freaking. Oh my God, fudge. Okay, this is not going to work. Prediction on the turtle price after the drop. All right, we have a couple of rarities here that we're going to have to go through, and then I do have to bounce. I know I didn't get through like any of the news here, but there's stuff that we're going to do tonight. Let's go to the. I don't need the AR photos. Coming soon. Latest drops. Coming soon. All right, turtles. 29. Okay, the special edition. That's one of 87. Several hundred. Several hundred. Honestly, now 1,000 plus. Because it depends. Because I think it can be over 1,000 because there might only be 40 something of them minted. And I say that because there are 2,987 common. That's a lot. Now the ultra rare 487, and I think the ultra rare is the not incognito, it's incogninja. That's cool. That'll be above retail, right? Because there's not a ton of them. It's still a first appearance. The classic will be, I don't know, 10 to 20 bucks. And be advised, if there are some at 10, there are going to be people who stack at 10 because they see we're at 2,987 of them, and that might make sense, maybe even be a little bit too much for the audience right now, but that is not going to last. That number will. So if they're saying that this is worth at least $40 and people are going to sell it for $10, they're going to go in and buy the shiz out of that because it will not be enough in 6 months. There will not be enough supply to meet demand in 6 months for first appearance Michelangelo. First appearance Mikey. So the common will probably be 10 to 20. The ultra rare will be above retail. I don't know by how much. 47 is not a lot. It's enough to satisfy probably the demand of the people, and they'll. It's like, okay, why go for it when you get a common when you could just pay $60 and guarantee yourself the ultra rare. And maybe it goes a bit beyond that because again, if you only get, let's say if they do half of them, right? Half of them, let's say they have 1450, 14. Let's say they have 1475 of the common. A lot of people do it. A lot of people multi do it. Okay, cool. Then you would get 240. So we have 1450 and 240. So that's 1690, and then half of 87. So you'd get 1700. Honestly, they'll probably sell out 2,000 of these. So 80K is a lot, but I think they do it because again, like there's a lot of people that are active, but they don't really go for drops anymore. This one is different. I think they will go. So that's why again, let's say they do 2,000 of these. We get 50 special editions. There's more level 100s than people that are looking to get the special edition. So yeah, I think special edition goes for over 1,000, at least several hundred. I think it can go down to several hundred if they mint out, but that would be give me one sec. 3451. That'd be $138,000. And I'm not saying that they don't do that. I think they do eventually, but maybe not on the first day. But maybe they do. Bill Gardner, give me those dab. Booth says quad zero. I don't know about quad zero. Okay, we gotta look for Definity real quick and then do DACAT. The heck is Definity? It's 1.8. We have 1.8 cents. 4K in volume, $2.8 million market cap. All right, not bad, not bad. And let's do DACAT before we bounce. Up almost 2% on the day. $1.2 million market cap. $385 in volume. Not a lot. Need quad 01 to stack. Yeah, that'd be great, right? Too bad we won't get it. Quad 01 comes, I can actually reach $1 billion. There's just no way it happens. Never else could be a reality. It's not. He's like, kind of like Dashi. Yeah, I love Dashi. Dashi. Mazvan's happy Thanksgiving. All right, I love you guys. I do have to bounce here, and I know we didn't really get to go over many of the stuff. I just have there's other stuff to do, and I have to be the one to do it. All right, everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everybody say bye bye to Erica. Bye bye, Erica. We love you. Ooh, meow, meow, meow.